When last seen, our hero Woogums had been captured by aliens and spirited away to a strange planet, leaving those of us back here on Earth to wonder whatever happened. So yeah, I think it's time to pick up a pencil and get to work on Woogums issue number 2. So we'll just open up this mini and we will, well, as usual, I have no idea what to draw. So I think instead we'll take 11 by 17 paper and we will draw, I don't know, a monster poster because, you know, why not? Now I folded it and drew a line down the middle because I have learned that I want to have these regions good for drawing. In case I use this in a book, I don't want to lose any artwork in that gutter right there down the middle of the book. So we'll put some arcs along here, and I want to have a sense of symmetry. So these arc across the page. And then on either side of the half line, I will put 2 figures. So that's 4 figures with the half line between them. And these 4 figures are going to be 4 giant monsters. I'm thinking one will be like blobby and bumpy. One can be spiky like fire. One could be spiky like bird beaks. And one can be kind of a rectangular block, so we get some variety in those shapes. Symmetry and variety. So here we go. The blocky one, doesn't that kind of look like a bulldog? All right, we'll give it some paws and some teeth. Now the spiky one, bird brain, I'm thinking. Dinosaur, bird brain. Maybe that one has a sword because that's pointy too. And lots of claws and other points. And now the mushy one, I'm thinking like oatmeal or brains and tentacles, and don't really want to go near that thing, whatever it looks like. Ugh. And now the fiery one, maybe just fire. Yeah. Okay, here we go. I'll take a black marker and I will do a bold outline around these shapes and include a couple details, only the most important details. So we'll do the teeth and the claws and add some spikes in there. I don't want to pencil in too many details because I like to improvise as I ink, so I'm adding a lot of details just on the spur of the moment. Like, I don't know, maybe these claws have little contour lines along the legs and arms. That's a suit of armor, isn't it? Spiky armor for bird brain there. Now for oatmeal brain here, we're going to do these tentacles. They're going to have the bold lines. And they're really writhing. Maybe we'll darken around them and that'll bring them out of these robes or whatever this thing is wearing. These are some interesting monsters here we're discovering. And the flames, well, we're going to leave the flames mostly like flamey. So it's fire, right? With eyes and a mouth. All right, now I'm coming in with my detail pen. It's just a felt tip black ink pen. And I'm adding lots of details like sensors, a little bit of shading, nuts and bolts that hold this armor plating together. And then in between the armor plating, I'm going to improvise some wires and pistons and servos and circuitry, and then darken around it so that it kind of looks like you could reach in there and rip out circuitry if you ever got in a fight with this monster. Not that you'd ever want to do that. All right, so for bird brain over here, we'll just darken some of these armor plates, and I'm thinking little tiny sharp fangs in the beak. Oh, and like gladiator effort veins on this armor-plated head. Ugh. Definitely don't want to cross bird brains here. And oatmeal brain, I think we'll make him a little more lumpy. And then along those tentacles, if I put little lines along one side of each tentacle, yeah, that kind of makes them, gives them some form and makes them wriggle and writhe a little more. Definitely don't want to go near that one. And then the fire, maybe just some ashes in the fire here. All right, now right here we have a space. They're all kind of looking at that space. I'm going back to pencil in Woogums here, because this is our hero for the story. And Woogums just likes to take cat naps in sunbeams. Purr, snore, purrs. And they're all kind of looking at Woogums. This gives me an idea. They're not going to fight. They're all saying, "Aww." Because, I mean, what is your reaction to a cat napping in a sunbeam? Exactly. Same reaction here in these galactic gladiators. And they are just totally smitten with Woogums. Now I'll black in around them because they're kind of at the edge of the sunbeam. They're in the shadows here. And that black brings out their different shapes. Blocky, spiky, mushy, flamey. And then remember our arc that we drew to begin with. This arc is actually the circle of the sunbeam, the edge of light and darkness, and that contrast helps us bring out their shapes. Now I'm drawing guidelines here. Notice how these guidelines all point back to Woogums, and those guidelines are going to help me make sure that all my shading of this ground kind of focuses our attention and the energy of the scene on one central point, which is the napping cat right there. All right, now I'll go over this with eraser, clean up all my pencil lines, and there's our finished product. Remember, we started with those symmetrical arcs, we added in those character shapes, and then we put in the details of those gruesome characters. And then we centered them around our main character. You know, this gives me an idea. I think now I know exactly what's going to happen in Woogums issue 2. So let's get started.